May I, for a few moments, recall to your mind the history of the Chinese government and people.
He went beyond our imagination. I would never guess that our first Chinese graduate was from class 1900. That fact alone was beyond most people's imagination. The more I learn about him, the more I admired him. He was the author of the first of its kind English-Chinese dictionary. He was a pioneer building equal status diplomatic relationships between China and the Western world, and had a distinguished service with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And then he was elected as the premier for 5 terms. The last term, he was also the acting president. He became an accomplished professor at St. John's University in Shanghai. He took on the founding of Tsinghua School. For that reason, the Tsinghua design was very much after the blueprint of UVA. Many friends will recognize it as the rotunda. Mr. W. Yan was not only the son of China, but also in a sense, he's a great son of UVA today.
We always have this kind of model in front of us and really follow his path and learn from him.
We know that we have a long history of producing leaders for China and making an impact. It makes me feel more enabled in a way to create that change.
When you take a very close look at this man, he had a great character. You can see the core values and idea of Thomas Jefferson. Must be like many of us who got a transformational experience. He gave back to UVA. That also inspires all of us today. He was looked up to by all different political schools and parties. For the new government, Chairman Mao asked him to serve as the vice chairman for Eastern China. That's how respected he was. So he won people's heart. Without this distinguished UVA graduate, all these would not be possible.
As we read our history, we cannot but be convinced to do all that is possible for the strength and prosperity of our country.
The best way to connect UVA and China will be through the people.
With the spirit of lofty idealism, the wonderful courage, and the firm determination, China depends upon her leaders of this age.
All around, I think he set a great example for all of us. Not just for the Virginians who were born in Virginia, but also for the many Virginians come from far away.
I am sure if all the leaders of this country will be imbued with the same spirit and courage, we shall make such progress that will amaze the entire world.